I love getting some Chicago pizza. I already have it ordered for after my concert. 1 Eric Nam per household. You want me to explain that that phrase? Did my mom always support me doing this? I'd say up until a couple years ago, she would consistently ask me when I'm getting a real job. There are not many Asian Americans who are pursuing music in a very mainstream way, and whether I'm the one to quote unquote break through or not, we need people to continue to try. My name is Eric Nam. Hi, I am a singer-songwriter, host, entrepreneur, and of many different titles. I have a new album. It's called There and Back Again, and it just released at the top of the year. And it is my first album as an independent artist. It is just, two things. One, it's about me being born and raised in Atlanta, going to Korea to pursue music and coming back to the States to continue that pursuit of music, but also just about the really big highs and lows that we have in life and the emotional roller coaster that we're all on. And so we have kicked it off. We have 50, I think 2 cities and counting. I think this is show number 14. So we're just getting started, but I'm excited to be here. I think this is my 3rd time playing in Chicago. For the past 3-4 years now, I've been releasing music in English because it's always been a dream and an intention of mine to do a lot more music back in the States. Like, there are not many Asian Americans who are pursuing music in a very mainstream way, and I think whether I'm the one to quote unquote break through or not, we need people to continue to try so that it becomes easier for future artists and generations. And so that's a big thing. But also, I'm American. I was born and raised here. Singing in English is most comfortable for me. I write all my music in English, even when I write for a Korean audience, and then I go back to translate it into Korean. And so it's always been more natural for me. Putting this second English album out and doing tours in the most American way as possible it's a different process, but I think there's a lot that I've learned from K-pop and Korea that have allowed me to do what I do. And so I'm really thankful for the opportunities that Korea has afforded me, but also being able to do it on my own terms here in the States has been really special. I still think there's a lot of room for improvement for opportunities and representation. I think it's great that we have Asian American artists, actors, people, politicians all over doing incredible things. Do I think it's proportionate? I don't. I think we need more. We need to have more opportunities, and we need to have more allies who show up and put on and encourage us and support us. And thank you so much to the ones who have, but I think there's still so much headway to be had. And that's what makes me actually really excited for what's to come, the years to come, because I think when I talk to younger musicians these days, kids who are 10, 12 years younger than me, they don't really think of it as like, I can't do this because I'm Asian. They think, oh, of course I could do it because I love music. And seeing that kind of shift in mindset has been really interesting and encouraging. I think it's incredible, and I think it's overdue. It's been really cool to see so much great content get like global popularity, and it makes me really proud. And at the same time, I feel like we've always had incredible content and talent. It's just so happens that right now, from whatever reason, it's just really exploding in popularity. The cool thing is, once you're able to see people like yourself doing really well on the screen or in certain places, it allows for younger kids or younger generations to really dream and say, I could do that because I've seen it's possible. And it unlocks like an entire new generation of dreamers and creators and innovators, and that's what's really, really exciting. You want me to explain that that phrase? There is a phrase in Korea. It says 1 Eric Nam per household, and I don't know where it started, but it was like a trendy thing to say for a year or two. Where anything good happened, it was like, oh, like Eric Nam is like, I don't know how to explain this. How do I explain this? I hope, if I can become a household name and I could be like somebody that brings a lot of laughter and joy and music and entertaining things to everybody in the States, that'd be ideal. That'd be great. And hopefully until that happens, I'll just keep working at my craft and building things and creating things, and we'll see if we can do it. Both my parents are first-generation immigrants. I feel like it's a typical immigrant story. They came to the States with very much nothing, worked a bunch of odd jobs and put myself and my brothers through school. We have a very ideal, like a great loving family relationship. When people react to my relationship with my parents, where people are like, how are you so close to your parents? We're like, I don't know, like it's kind of, my brothers and I, we've always appreciated the sacrifice, and we know that anything that they do or say comes from a place of love. I think that's always kept us very grounded and in a great place. Now, did my mom always support me doing this? No. I'd say up until a couple years ago, she would consistently ask me when I'm getting a real job. And when I was like, hey mom, I think I'm kind of like, people are starting to recognize me, and she'd be like, why? Like there's so many better like singers and better looking people than you, and it's just a very mom thing to say. But she's come aboard fully, and I was having this conversation the other day with my friends. Who were like, do your parents ever say they're proud of you? I was like, yeah, actually they called me 2 weeks ago and they said, hey, we're so proud of you. And I'm like, thank you so much. So I was actually in Atlanta when the incident, the hate crimes happened. It was a very emotional, it was a very emotional period for me. And I'm not one to cry really, but I remember actually like kind of having a breakdown because it felt like it could have been my mother, it could have been any of our friends or anybody that we know. And Time reached out and asked if I could put a piece together, and I'd never done anything like that, and so I was really hesitant and reluctant. But at the same time, I've always kind of been thinking of, if I don't say something when I'm asked to, or like when I have attention on me, then like what's the point if I say it later? So like using a platform or following for good in that sense has always kind of been, I think, a pillar of how I've built my career and how I've intended to use a platform. And so it took a long time. Like I had like maybe 36 hours to put it together, but like I was just super stressed the entire time. Because I think the other thing is like, because there are not many Asian Americans in the public space doing many things, like what one person says as a representative of an entire community carries so much weight. And so for me to say, okay, I have to write this piece as opposed to kind of speak on behalf of how Asian or Asian American people might be feeling for time, very stressful. Mm-hmm. But thankfully, with the help of some friends who helped edit and like guide me, we were able to put that piece out, and the response was great. And more than it being like, oh, like it was well written, I think the most meaningful part was that people were like, thank you for putting together what I've struggled to put into words and putting it out on paper. And that was like the hardest part, to be able to verbalize those things. About a year out from that incident, and I still feel like hate crimes are still happening. I still feel like racism, prejudice, or stereotypes, or whatever injustice, it's still very, very much a thing. And so we can't stop talking about it, and we still have to have these conversations. It's not comfortable, and it can feel repetitive to some people too, because you're like, why are we still talking about this? But the thing is, it's still happening. And so if you hear something or if you see something, say something, and be a friend, and hopefully, you know, we can continue to fight the good fight on this. Literally every time I'm here, it's just in and out, unfortunately. And it's one of the things where I'm like, we need to schedule the tour so it's not freezing and I can leave the venue and actually explore the city and have like a day or two to kind of just chill out and check things out. But whenever I am here, I love getting some Chicago pizza, deep dish pizza, and just eating so much cheese, which is, I don't know if it's the best for my stomach, but when you're here, you gotta do it. I already have it ordered for after my concert. After the show, we're gonna be having a deep dish. Thank you so much for having me and for joining me in this conversation. Everybody, please stay healthy, stay safe. Please check out my new album, There and Back Again. It's available on every single streaming platform in the world. And if you missed me on tour this time, I hope to see you guys again soon. And be safe, be happy, be healthy. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye.